welcome back to my channel. I asked you guys on Instagram today what should I post, any ideas. I got a bunch of things, cool things that I definitely look forward to doing for you. And I've gotten many people asking me about my brows before. I figured it would be best if I just start off with my brows. And on top of that, today I had errands to run, so I had done my face. I did a full face of makeup. The only thing that I actually didn't do was my brows. And all I have on my brows, believe it or not, right now is just brow gel. I don't know if it shocks people, but literally this is like all I have on my brows. I don't have anything. If I have anything around my brows, it's obviously my foundation. I don't have anything filled in. There's no pencil, nothing. Just Anastasia brow gel. That's literally all I use. I do have full brows. Even me having thick brows it's a pain sometimes. But I have brows that are pretty thick where I don't need to fill in much. I like to keep the front. I do like to fill it in just a little bit, like tiny bit. But it's because my brows are dark also. My hair is black, so my brows are obviously the same color. And I just feel like I don't want it harsh. I'm gonna show you how I do my brows. It's pretty simple. I don't really use much for it. I do want to show you the stuff that I do use, which I don't use it all the time. I switch it up, but brow pencil actually works the best for me. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. Yeah, dark brown. I use this for my brows. I feel like it works the easiest for me. It gives me like a precise line under, and that's mostly what I focus on because I have sparseness in the front of my brow, and that's just my biggest concern with my brows. So I use this, and I also use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. Sometimes I'll just use this by itself like I did today. It has no tint, no color, no nothing. So I just used this. I was in a rush, and I just recently did my brows maybe like 3 days ago. So they're pretty full. I don't have much to conceal, like, you know, when you get the little baby hairs that start peeking through around here and stuff all over, and you just need to find a way to cover it until you get your brows done again. I did mine a few days ago, so they're pretty fresh. So I use that, and sometimes I'll use the Dipbrow in the color Ebony. I use Ebony because it's dark, and when I do use this, a little goes a long way, so I don't use too much. I just use very little, and I'll just clean it up with concealer. The concealer that I'm going to be using today is actually the NYX HD concealer. This concealer is one of my favorite go-to concealers. It's like a holy grail for me. It's drugstore. It's amazing. I've seen people all over using it, and it's just bomb. So I use this, and I like to use the shade medium. I feel like when I do my brows, I don't want too much of a highlight. I can just put a color under my brow bone that's a highlighted color. You know, the highlight colors that you put under your brows, whether it's white or just off-white or sometimes a shimmer down there. You guys know what you put under the brows, but I like to keep it, I would say, maybe a shade lighter than my actual skin tone. So this one is medium, and it actually blends right in with my skin. I don't feel like it gives me too much of a lighter shade, so that's why I like it. When I do my brows, I also don't do the top. I don't do the top because I like to keep it natural. There may be times that you will see me doing the top, but it's gonna be very rare because I just try to do the bottom, and the most part that I focus on is the front. As far as brow gel, I just use the Anastasia, and sometimes I use Maybelline Dark Brown. That's the one that I do use when I don't use this one. So that's pretty much what I use for my brows. The 3 products that I would say I use the most for my brows is a concealer, a brow pencil, and a brow gel. Now the brow gel, I only set it on my brows after my face is completely done. The reason I do that is because when you're putting bronzer and you're using the brush, you know, all around your forehead, around here, and anywhere you put bronzer or you're using powder to set, to bake, it moves the hairs. So once I do my brows, then I'll do my eyes. I like to do my eyes first because there's fallout sometimes, and you know, you can put translucent You can put translucent powder under your eye, but you know, just to catch the fallout and then dust it off. But I just feel like I don't want to do that. I'd rather just do my eyes first, and then I'll just wipe off any product that falls down, or you know, if I use glitter, it gets messy. As far as my brows, that's pretty much what I use, and I'm gonna just show you how I do my brows. Like I said, I literally have nothing on my brows right now, just brow gel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do my brows for you, show you the way I do them, and I'll explain a little bit as far as how I do my brows. Okay, so what I start off by doing is I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and what I'll do is I'll spoolie it out and just make sure my hairs are all going one direction, and that's basically it. My main concern is always, as long as I can fill in as much of the sparse areas as possible, I just touch up on them just a little bit, because there's areas that I wish there were more hair in, which is obviously, in my case, is the front. So once again, the other side. Once I get to the end, I'll just try to make it straight. When you use the concealer, it cleans up some, you know, sometimes we make a mess when we do our brows or we go too thick. The concealer cleans all of that up for you, and you'll be good to go. I don't want to talk too much because this is kind of hard to talk when I do my brows. I have a light hand, and when I get to the front, I go even lighter. And then I'll spoolie it out to blend the middle and the back. The product, there's more product obviously in the middle and the back, so you want less product in the front. This is just my preference. This is how I do my brows. Everyone's brows are different. Like I said, I don't do the top. I like it to look more natural, so I just don't even really touch the top. There may be a time in the future, or times in the future, where I do the top, but that's when I want it to be really clean, you know, and when I do that, it's going to be done before my foundation is put. You can do it after your foundation is put on, but then it would have to be, in my opinion, is better if it's your foundation, like the color of your foundation, if it's the same tone of the concealer that you're using, because sometimes people go too harsh on the brows, outlining it, you know, with the concealer, and it tends to look really harsh, and then your brows are really light and your face is one color. So if you can find a way to blend it in all together where it doesn't look too highlighted, then that's what I would do. That's why if I fill in the top of my brows, I would do that before my foundation. And then I'll put my foundation on top, and then it's easier to blend them together because the foundation will just cover it. That's pretty much it as far as my brows, filling them in, that is. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer. So I'm gonna take a little bit, put it in the back of my hand. And then the brush I use is just a precision concealer brush. It's a no name brand brush, but it's amazing. It has this pointy tip to it right here, so it's like angled where it goes perfect for under the brows. So what you can also do is when you're trying to make sure your brows are even, you can also look from under and make sure that it's symmetrical, like it's the same, you know, the same on each side. So that's what I'm doing. And I go right under it. Just clean my brows. Blend it in. I blend it in with my finger because my makeup is already done. In this case, I did it today, so I don't have much to do as far as the blending. Just a little bit. The shade is not too much lighter than my skin tone, so it really doesn't show much. Then I'm gonna go to the other side. Go back and easily just, you know, look in the mirror, see if they're even, if they both look the same to you. Obviously, brows are not going to be identical, but we're going to try to get them as identical as possible. In this case, my brows, I feel like they are to my liking. So what I would do now that my brows are done, I would actually take the brow gel and I'll just set it. And like I said, I put the brow gel once I'm totally done with my entire face so it doesn't move my hair. And then I'll just go in with the brow gel. Doesn't have to be Anastasia, it could be any brow gel. Yeah, that's basically how I do my brows. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna post the other things that you guys suggested as far as looks up. I'll post them soon. I just wanted something that you guys wanted to see, and I know people mention my brows to me often, so I figured I would just take that as a perfect opportunity for me to do my brows for you today. And as you can see, it was pretty simple for me to do my brows. So this is my brow routine. This is how I do my brows for the majority of the time. And I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I actually woke up today in the afternoon. I posted this. And I actually